Over the years, there have been tons of themes released by LEGO. We've had Star Wars, Marvel, LEGO City, and even Ninjago. Now don't get me wrong, not all of the themes that have been released are brilliant, and some of the ones which are brilliant have released sets, well, just a little bit overpriced. Now I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life, which has naturally meant most of my collection is centred around that theme. But I've also lived a life surrounded by motorsport and grown up watching Lewis Hamilton win 7 world championships, whilst dreaming of becoming a street racer watching The Fast and Furious, the film in which they now drive cars in space. Yeah, that's what they do now.
Family, family, family.
Now I've been wanting to collect a new line of LEGO for a long time. I'd thought about Ninjago, but I just couldn't get into the show, and the sets just didn't do that much for me. I knew of the Theme Speed Champions, but kind of overlooked it, and therefore never really gave it any thought. LEGO City didn't really ever have an appeal to me, and I'm not exactly the biggest Marvel fan ever. So as a Star Wars collector, I decided it was best to never dip my foot into another theme and stick to just collecting Star Wars. Now with the amount of sets Star Wars tends to release each year, it is quite hard to keep up nowadays. So why would I expand my wallet even deeper to try and get money out, which just clearly isn't there? Please can you like and subscribe so I can get monetized and don't end up like this dude?
Help a veteran get a warm meal.
Because of clearance. That's why every LEGO fan tends to put themselves in debt, because as soon as something comes on sale, we all think 2012 is about to happen and then spam the add to basket button on our phones in order to feel as if we're not missing out. So I found a deal on the 007 Aston Martin DB5 from James Bond. It was 25% off and I thought, what's the harm in £15? So after a quick trip in my car to go and pick it up, I spent the next hour or so building it. As I sat on my carpet floor building LEGO, I lost track of everything else going on in the world and disappeared into a world of my own. My name's Bond. James Bond. And I like to fix things. However, once I finished the build, I had a little bit of a problem. I think I'm about to go and make a very bad decision, but order some more. And so that's exactly what I did. So as I waited for the next few days for a delivery from Amazon, I sat down and watched a certain film to get me into the mood for what was about to arrive.
I don't have friends, I got family.
I think my parcel's here. Now in this moment, for the grand total of £45 British, that's $55 to my American friends, I had received 3 LEGO sets which filled me with nostalgia and throwbacks toward my childhood days, and having the feeling of being able to achieve everything and anything I put myself towards. I started to consider the idea that Speed Champions might just be the best LEGO theme that has been created. The hours to come building these sets made every bad financial decision I'd made in the last few days worth it, and it started to get me curious on what exactly made these sets provide a level of happiness that I just don't believe I have achieved in LEGO before. After thinking this over for a while, I came up with a few reasons. Firstly, the nostalgia with each release provides an individual attachment to each and every buyer. Whether you grew up watching James Bond or Paul Walker, each set has a near similarity, but an overall difference which allows it to tailor specifically to different fans each time. The attention to detail isn't scrutinised as it can be with other sets. It's pretty spot on, and any minor details that fans might want to include are mainly overlooked because of the overall happiness and joy it provides. Although you don't have the option of building huge mocks of Coruscant or Geonosis, but I think we can all agree it would be pretty cool to see Master Yoda rock up to the Jedi Temple in a Nissan Skyline. LEGO Speed Champions provided me with the perfect level of detail, collectability, and an overwhelming joy of happiness and personal attachment, which is just seeming harder and harder to get with LEGO sets nowadays. Upon my return from IKEA in a couple weeks' time, where I can finally design my room and get a decent desk so I don't have to look homeless building on the floor anymore, I'm definitely going to have to leave some space to display all the Speed Champions that I'm going to be picking up. Now you may not agree with me, and I'm not saying that all the other themes out there such as Star Wars and Marvel don't provide what Speed Champions do, but it is just tailored to my personal experience. I still absolutely love Star Wars, and I tend to feel that there's a lot of us in there in the community which just tend to overlook most of the positives that get released with the stuff nowadays, and instead we all look to those fine details which we feel just LEGO isn't matching up to what it should deserve. deserve. But with Speed Champions, I just feel like this isn't the case. I feel like any imperfections or minor details which just aren't correct get thrown to one side because there are just so many good things about this theme which completely overrule any negatives. So you may not agree with me, so don't go all Palpatine on me in the comments, but instead ask yourself, when was the last time you felt an overwhelming amount of joy from a LEGO theme which provided the perfect value for money with a personal connection? And if you sat there and you just can't come up with an answer, then maybe Speed Champions is the one for you.